So folks, Shabbat Shalom, almost. You know, if somebody walked in here tonight and was looking for an infection, I don't think they could find one here. Look at us here. We all look so nice and good and healthy, and we all have plenty of room for social distancing. So let me just say that masks are optional. I surely would not tell you not to wear a mask, but they are optional. I was in a gathering today in a synagogue where I was one of the only people wearing a mask. When there's a lot of people that are sitting near each other, I want to wear a mask, but I was one of the few people that was, so. Either I'm very wise or very paranoid. One of the two. I don't know. Safe, yeah, you want to be safe. I think so. I think so. Okay. Cantor and I were just at a gathering, and we had to excuse ourselves with the excuse we both had to go to work. So we're here, but that's why we're running a little bit late. It's holy work that we do. It's avodah, it's called avodat kodesh, holy work. So it's okay on Shabbat. Yeah. So we're going to begin our service tonight on page 12. And on page 12, we normally start with the first stanza, Yedid Nefesh Av Harachaman, but go down to the final stanza, Higalena Ufros Chavivi Alai Et Sukat Shlomecha. Spread your fondness over us and your sukkah of peace, your canopy of peace. Higalena. So we're going to turn a few pages now to the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat. We're going to find ourselves on the third of the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, which is Psalm 97. And on the penultimate line on page 26, you'll find these words, Or Zarua La Tzadik, a light shines, or the light is planted for the righteous, and for those who are upright in heart, there will be great joy. Or Zarua. And with that, let's turn to page 29. It's traditional to rise for this psalm in particular. So we'll find ourselves on page 28 or 29. Actually, hold on just one second. One second. We're on page 34. Sorry, 34.
La Ki מקור הברכה stand to Yamin. Yamin Osmol Tifrotzi Le'et Adonai Ta'aritzi Al Yarish Be'arzi Ve'nismecha Menagila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekavela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mo'i v'shalom materet bala Nam simcha uv'tohala Toch emonei av segola Bo'i chala, lecha dodi likat kala B'nei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likat kala B'nei Shabbat
So I'd like to share with you a teaching of the great Rabbi Yisrael Misalent. He comes from a town known as Salent, and usually we refer to him as Rabbi Yisrael Salenter. He is really, I think you can say, the founder of what is called the Musar movement. It's a movement of focusing on the ethics and morality within Judaism, which is really very big today and hot today. Many, many books that are being written today. In fact, I just got one this past week that I hope to use for teaching some Musar. So anyhow, I want to share this teaching from him. But the teaching from Rabbi Israel Salenter that rabbis know best is the following. This is not the teaching that I want to share, but he has a teaching that says any rabbi whose congregants don't disagree with him, in his day it was only hymns, right? Any rabbi whose congregants don't disagree with him is no rabbi. And any rabbi who lives in fear of his congregants is no man. So take that, right? So anyhow, this is, you got to really think about this. Listen, this teaching is so great. In Hebrew it says, Nisiti lishanot et ha'olam. I tried to change the world. V'lo hitzlachti. And I didn't succeed. Shaniti et atzmi, I changed myself, v'hishtanu kol ha'olam, and the whole world was changed. Tried to change the whole world, and I didn't succeed. I changed myself, and the whole world was changed. Now, we could talk for some time what the meaning of those words are, but, whatever it means to each one of us, let's turn to the beginning of the Mariv, the evening service, page 50. We'll all rise.
Lai 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 ya la 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 lai 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 ya la 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 lai 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 ya la 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 lai ya la 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 lai 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 ya la 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 lai 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 ya la 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 Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv harabim, בחוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם, ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיר בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
Let's continue Ahavat Olam, page 52.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'yavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, uv'chol nafshecha, uv'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh, asher anohi v'savecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinatam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shiteha b'veiteha, uv'leteha v'derech, uv'shokbeha, uv'kumeha, uv'shatam leot al yadeha, v'hayu letotafot beineneha, uv'taftam al mezuzot beiteha,
Yasher koach. Oh boy. That means you were great. You were great, Scotty. Gives a little on and off, on and off. Okay, let's continue individually. 56, 57. מהשמיים על הארץ, ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור. ציצית.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי וייתן קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Let's continue in the middle of page 60. Kenner will bring us into the Michamocha.
מלכותו ורצון קיבלו עליהם. משה ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו עולם. מי כמוך באלים אדוני. מי כמוך
Hey, Scotty, my friend, I hate to keep doing this to you, but, you know, you asked for it to do these prayers tonight. So come on up. But again, that's what I say. But is the same deal before the Shema? You first have to sit next to me. I have to have the pleasure of your company for a couple of minutes. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us to life on the morrow. Hashkivenu, 62.
La Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom, Elhamidenu, Makeinu Lechaim, Elhamidenu, Makeinu ושמרתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום יצווה עד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. You're all invited to join in with Scotty Vishamru, page 64.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dotam berit olam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dotam berit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael od hili olam od hili olam od hili olam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat le'dotam berit olam Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dotam berit olam Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dotam berit olam.
Great job,
Scotty, that was great. Don't get too comfortable down there, because you're coming. You come. One more prayer, right? We're only 66% there, Scotty, right? But the big number's coming up. That's the Kiddush. So, okay, Chatzi Kaddish, 66.
Yitzkadav, Yitzkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yalmati v'rachirutei v'yamlich malchutei mechayechon uvyomechon uvchayetecho beit Yisrael bagala bagala ubizman kariv ve'imru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach Ve'alam ulam me'yomayam Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei nekudesha berecho Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Tamid han me'ava ve'imru
Amen. So let's take a few moments now for individual and quiet prayer. we can find ourselves to recite the evening Amidah, page 69, continuing through until the conclusion on 76 or 77. So every Shabbat service, and every weekday service, we've been offering a prayer for Ukraine, for peace in Ukraine. So now what do? We had a shooting in Buffalo where 10 innocent lives were taken. Then we have a shooting in a small town in Texas where 21 lives are taken. 19 children and their teachers who love them and they love their teachers. And then one of the teachers, her husband passes away just a couple of days later from a broken heart. You know, that's more than enough. So much more than enough. But it's not the end yet. Because in Tulsa, what happened yesterday? A guy has surgery, he's still in some pain. So he goes back and he kills his surgeon and others who were there working. And it's kind of like we don't know where to turn first. Where should we put our attention? You know, we can't take our eyes off or our hearts away from the people of Ukraine who have every right to live in peace and in a democratic country where they're not pawns to a dictator. And yet in our own country, boy, in our own country, you know, in ancient days, you know what they used to do in ancient days? They used to sacrifice their children to the gods. Yeah, to the god Molech. He was the fire god. So very often it was the firstborn child. Firstborn child. Sorry, Samantha, but I thought you were chatting about it. They would sacrifice the child to the god Molech. So what do you think of that? Boy, ancient times, how barbaric. Boy, these people were brutal. It's 2022 and we're sacrificing our kids, not to the gods, but to the devil. To the devil. Because there are people in our country who have made a deal with the devil and we're losing our children. Adults and children. But we just lost 19 kids. No, they're unmoved by it, unfazed by it, because they're in cahoots with the devil. They made a deal. There they are. They won't move. So I'd just like to take a moment just to sit quietly tonight. You know, what do we focus on? I read a couple of weeks ago that, talk about post-traumatic stress and traumatic stress. The article said that anyone who pays attention to the news could be living with a measure of traumatic stress. It's all around us. Of course, it's nothing like those who have lost a family member, but we get bombarded every day. Let's just sit together for a moment quietly, and then we'll listen to the cantor's chanting of Oseh Shalom Bimromav, prayer for peace.
Shalom Aleinu Ve'yarbu Yisrael Ve'yivu Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Aseh Shalom
Okay, the moment has arrived. Scotty, it's all yours, Kiddush. I don't know if we have real wine for you or grape juice, but
Real deal.
look, Kenner says it's the real deal.
Real deal.
Let's all rise, page 90.
Plastic cup, I see.
Shabbat Kiddush.
He did it on purpose because he knew that I was going to sing this prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Berei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishana b'mitzvotav, v'rata banu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uratzon, hinhilanu, zikaron l'mahaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom tehila, l'mikra kodesh, zehe l'tziat mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'hata, ve'otanu kidasa, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kol sheha be'ahavatzon, v'hinhaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Okay, I'm good.
L'chaim.
Don't forget your seat, Scott.
Scotty, did you say you want some more? Scotty, what, the date of your bar mitzvah is September what, the 19th? 17th. 17th? Everybody's invited. It's going to be great. Okay, folks, let's have a little bit of fun. As I often do before a holiday, I have a quiz on the holiday. And we're going to go back to our old way of operating. It's going to be those who are south of the Mason-Dixon line, which is everybody on that side, against those northerners up here, Mason-Dixon line. So you outnumber us. Oh, Samantha, we need you, sweetie. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, when you come back, we'll need you. First questions are easier, so hard questions come later. Okay, so let's see. We need a scorekeeper on this side. Who wants to be a scorekeeper? Okay, Bernie, you're scorekeeper for this side, and Scotty, you're a scorekeeper for us. Okay? Okay, so to the Southerners, what does the word Shavuot mean? Okay, Mimi? Weeks. Okay. Actually, I don't know that I want to do this, but when I was working on this, I thought, you know what, we ought to have a thing where a person cannot answer more than 2 questions, right? So if you think you know many answers, but you think it's a easy question, don't raise your hand. Now, Mimi, since I didn't say that until after you answered a question, you still have 2 more questions you could answer. It's the least I can do. Okay. Why is Shavuot sometimes called Pentecost? This side over here. Why is Shavuot sometimes called Pentecost? Okay, there's a discussion going on. Bum, 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 bum. Time's up. No answer? Okay, we'll bring it over to this side. Why is Shavuot sometimes called Pentecost? Okay, so Pentecost means like based on 5, like the Pentagon, it has to do with 50. So we count 49 days of the Omer. Shavuot is on the 50th day, so it's called Pentecost. Kenner, what should the rules be? So like now, this side didn't get it, So I went to this side next, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't get it either. So whose turn is it now? Is it this side's turn or this side's turn?
This side's turn, because they had the turn.
This side's turn?
Yeah, because you're taking actual turns back and forth. Am I wrong?
No, no.
Whoever raises
I
their
mean-
hand determines which side it goes to.
Okay, Cantor said your side, so I trust the Cantor.
Give us a leg up.
Yeah, trying to get a leg up. All right, okay. What part of the Torah do we especially read on the holiday of Shavuot? Kids who have become confirmed here should know this. Of course, it wasn't yesterday, so it may not be on the tip of your tongue or top of your mind. Bernie? Incorrect. What part of the Torah do we especially read on the holiday of Shavuot? Samantha, this side really needs you, sweetie. Really? Really? What part of the Torah do we especially read on Shavuot? The answer is the Ten Commandments. Okay. Now we come back to the next question. What other book of the Hebrew Bible do we read on Shavuot? What other book of the Hebrew Bible do we read? Bernie? Yeah, your answer was correct, just to the wrong question before. You were right, the question was wrong, but now the question caught up with you. Okay, so, we were supposed to end with this side over here, but we didn't. You have to have one more question. That one's too hard. If we didn't know the Ten Commandments, there's no chance for these. Okay. Name one and only one thing we traditionally eat on Shavuot. Name one and only one thing we traditionally eat on Shavuot. Michael, are you raising your hand? Okay, Michael? Well, okay, that's you. Just want something that we traditionally eat. Something. Cheesecake is good. Okay, cheesecake. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is a toss-up question, and the cantor will look carefully to see which side raises their hand first. Okay, the toss-up question. Either side could get it. Scotty, how many points do we have?
That team has.
No, you just have to count for our team.
All team has 2 and that team has 2. I was confused.
No, you're counting right, Scotty. Don't. That's the other team. Don't listen to them.
I was confused about the other question.
Yeah. You sure it's only 2? Okay, whatever. Okay, we're all friends. Okay, here's the toss-up question. Okay, there's actually 2 possible answers to this. Sukkot is called the season of our joy. Pesach is the season of our freedom. Shavuot is the season of... Toss-up question. Whoever raises their hand first. Bernie? Giving of the Torah is one possible answer, and the other one, it's the season of the harvest. So either one is good. Okay, Bernie, you get a point for that, so you're the scorekeeper over there. Okay, we're going to continue now. Okay, name one other thing. This for this. Oh, wait, we're back to this side, right? Yeah. That was a toss-up question. Okay, name one and only other thing that we eat on Shavuot. We have cheesecake so far. What else do we eat? Yes, Gail.
Blintzes.
What kind of blintzes?
Cheese blintzes.
Okay, that's a point. Okay, here we go. Shavuot marks the end of the harvest season of barley. It is the beginning of the harvest season of what? That's this side over here. The beginning of the harvest season of what? What do they start harvesting in Israel this time of year? The barley is already finished. What grows a little bit later in the season than barley? Okay, anybody on this side want to take a crack at it? What? Somebody said it. Don't be shy. Wheat. That's correct.
Great job, Gail.
And you just fouled out, Gail. You used up your 2 answers. Okay, well, you'll have to tell somebody else what the answer is, and they'll raise their hand. Okay, or you can raise your hand many times as you want. The farmers would bring their first fruits as a gift to God to where? Where did they bring it? This side, the northerners. They're bringing a gift to God. Where would they bring a gift to God? To Ohev Shalom. Where would they bring it to? Anybody on this side? Temple in Jerusalem. Yeah, the temple, right? Okay, here's a toss-up question. Where in Israel is the holiday of Shavuot especially celebrated in a most beautiful way? Where in Israel, and I'll just give you a hint, it's not only one place, but it's kind of like a umbrella of different places that come under one umbrella. Where in Israel is the holiday of Shavuot especially celebrated in a most beautiful way? It's a toss-up question. Whoever raises their hand first. Gail. Wall is a great answer in general, but it's not for this question. Again, it's the wrong question. Carol. Yeah, that's Lag BaOmer. It's also a good answer to a different question. The answer is on kibbutzim, because it's an agricultural holiday, and that's where they they get into it on kibbutzim. They really get into it. Okay, all of them are going to be toss-up questions. What is traditionally done on the first evening of Shavuot? What's traditionally done on the first evening? Mimi. Tikkun Leil Shavuot. Right, there's a study session. And we're going to be having ours tomorrow night, beginning at 8:30. Come on Zoom and just go on to the link for the Friday night service. Who started, okay, we just have a couple of more. Who started the ceremony of confirmation on Shavuot? Who started the ceremony of confirmation on Shavuot? Samantha? You're stretching? You're stretching? I thought you were raising your hand. No. You know, if you were like at a, where people like are raising their hands and bidding on something, you would have just owned it. They'd say it's yours, Samantha. Okay, anyhow, I know you were stretching. I'm giving you a tough time. Okay, who started the ceremony of confirmation on Shavuot? The Reform movement. Yeah, Reform movement, and we took it from them. The last question is, they did start confirmation on Shavuot. Why did they choose Shavuot? Why not Sukkot? Why not Hanukkah? Why not Purim? Why Shavuot? I would take two possible answers. Two possible answers. Mimi.
I would say that it's since we are getting the Torah as a gift, so we give gifts on Shavuot, and we give the gift of our children.
Okay, I mean, it's connected to Torah and learning. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I'd give you 3/4 of a point credit. So just a couple of other things. One is a very practical reason, comes up at the end of the year. So you want to, it's like, you don't have graduation in the middle of the year. But I think the main reason is that, as you so correctly pointed out, Bernie, we read the book of Ruth. And the book of Ruth is a woman who chooses to be Jewish. She's not originally Jewish, she's a Moabite, but she chooses to be Jewish. And what does confirmation mean? Is that, yes, I was either born Jewish or I was converted as a child, but I'm making a proclamation that I choose Judaism to be a big part of my life. Well, I think we did great. I think we really did great. Kenner, what do you say? You say they did great?
Oh, yeah. My side did awesome. I love this side. I do. But I got to give it to my side.
Bernie, how many points did your group come up with? What's that? Well, yeah, what's the number? 6 3/4. 6 3/4. Scotty, how did we do?
Well, I'm going to be honest, I'd say 1.
Hey, Scotty, what do we need to do to get another 6 3/4? Can you find for me another 6 3/4? Then we would have one more than they do.
My parents told me not to lie, so
Your parents told you not to lie. So what do you think about me even asking you that? It's not a good thing, is it?
okay, look, we have 1 point.
We have what?
We have 1 point.
We have 1 point, and that's it. And it's 1 point, and that's it, right?
Well, I'm kind of confused.
No, you're right. No, there's no negotiating, Scotty.
The cheesecake one. Because I thought that we got a point from that, but apparently we didn't.
No, we did. We got a point for cheesecake. So now we're up to 2.
We only had 2 points.
2 points, and that's it. We didn't get much more than 2. Right. Okay. So, but you're a good man, Scotty. You didn't let anybody push you around, right? You said we didn't win. That's it. Let's move on. Okay. Right. Great. Okay. I just want to tell you one thing quickly before we move on. Finish up the service. Gail told me last night that she was going to bring the cantor and me a gift. And she said that she saw in a store where they sell pretzels, and everything's in Hebrew on the back. So, Gail, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Gail.
These are traditionally also eaten on the holiday of Shavuot. You put a little cheese on them, or whatever, sour cream, cottage cheese. But you know what's interesting here? So I'm looking at it. It says in English, pretzel pieces. But if you would have asked me what's the Hebrew word for pretzel, I would have to say I have no idea, because I've never bought a pretzel in Israel. So anyhow, here's what it says in Hebrew. It says shivrei begala. Shivrei begala. Broken pieces of bagels. The machmetzet seor that are coming from, the machmetzet seor is, and now I don't know what this word means in English, but it's sourdough. Anybody know what sourdough is?
Yeah, it's type of bread.
Yeah, so it's leavened like sourdough, bita'am, with a taste of, sadi with a line next to it, dalid resh, cheddar. You ever hear that word? Yeah. Okay. So it's bagel bits. This is it. That's what they call it in Israel. Hey, did you have some bagel bits? Yeah, I love them. I love those bagel bits. Did you ever have pretzels? What are pretzels? Okay. Thanks, Gail.
Tomorrow. Thank you, sweetie.
Okay. Candace getting hers tomorrow, Gail? Because otherwise, I would share it, She's getting her own. Right. Okay. Okay. Elena 118. Let's all rise.
Omer?
What? Yes. You know what? I'm already thinking it's tomorrow night. I'm already thinking it's the 50th day. It's not the 50th day. I'm like so excited for Shavuot. Okay, yeah, come on, Mimi. Let's all rise. This is the last day of the counting of the Omer. Well, I'm so excited. What can I tell you? Mimi, you want to announce the page?
Yes, 734, and the blessing is on 732. So yesterday we counted 48 days in the Omer, and we continue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, על ספירת העומר. היום 46 יום, שהם שבועות לעומר. Today is the 49th day and a full 7 weeks in the counting of the Omer.
So Yesh Koach Mimi, we completed the 49 days of the counting of the Omer, and beginning tomorrow night, we'll celebrate Pentecost. Okay, 118.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה לאוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כחומם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומונים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שעונות השמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומה שביקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינות זו בגופם מרומים. O Eloheinu Einod, Emimokenu Echezulato, Kakatu Betorato, Beatatayo, Mahashevota Elevavecha, Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim, Bashamayim Imah, Ve'al haaretz, mitachat einon.
You're welcome to be seated if you'd like.
כי המלכות שלה היא ולומר תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Lisa and Jack, can I invite you to stand with next to the plaque of your dad, Lisa? Okay, fine. Oh, yeah. Okay, Jack. Yeah, sure. Okay. So, yeah. We are one day shy of Dad's yurtzeit, which will be tomorrow night and Sunday, but we'll be saying Kaddish for him tonight, for sure. I've been mentioning Dad's name for about the last 365 days or so. So I've kind of like, in a way, Lisa, spent a year with your dad. And each time that I just read his name, I also have a momentary flash of, something, I think of something about him that I surely found to be so very special. Your dad would have had reason to be a first-class braggart from all the things that he accomplished, Lisa. But he was a quiet man. He was never the center of attention. He didn't want to be. He was quiet. And yet, when Dad spoke, everyone listened to what he had to say, because it was always something intelligent, insightful, bright, and loving. So when I say he had every reason to be a braggart, he had many patents of things that never existed before. But he conceived them, and he found a way to bring them into the world, and a number of them were life-saving devices. Life-saving devices. But it wasn't his nature to brag. But I still can't get over it, that one person can bring so much new into the world. And, Lisa, today I had an opportunity to say a few words about Janice, Janice Kind Barber's mother. I commented that at Attleboro, she was the best dressed woman there, for sure. Everything was right. But now that I think of it, your dad was the best dressed male there. I would come on a Sunday night to do like a little service with him. So I saw the crowd. Your dad was always dressed with a, starched shirt, and his hair was combed beautifully, and he was quite a man. In addition to everything I'm saying, loved dearly by his whole family, everyone in the family, and I know how much you want to hold on to his presence and his loving memory. So Cantor is going to offer the opening words of the 23rd Psalm, and then we'll actually dedicate the plaque.
Adonai roi lo echsar bino teshyar biseni al mei menuchot yenach Gam ki elech begem samavet lo irara ki ata imadi shivtecha umishanetecha ema Adonai roi lo echsar Adonai roi lo echsar.
And so, in the name of the family of Donald Golden, we now consecrate and dedicate this plaque to his memory as a token of our love and respect. May the memory of all that was good and noble in Donald's life, all the new that he brought into the world, continue to inspire us that we may live a better life. O God, help all who have mourned his passing through the gift of memory each and every day. Comfort them and grant them strength, for you are our rock and redeemer. And we all say together, Amen.
Amen.
Okay, Lisa. Yeah. We are honored to have his name on our memorial board.
Mm-hmm.
We're honored. I want to mention,
Children and grandchildren
hi guys.
with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting that.
Jack sent me an email whether it was okay for him to use the, what are you using? FaceTime, yeah. So, besides the fact that we've been using technology but I said it was still not technically Shabbat yet. So,
Well, it was important
yeah.
to be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. No, for
Even
sure.
my brother, all the way up in Maine, even my brother was there.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Out of love. So we join Cantor with much sadness in losing her dear aunt. I'm not sure whether to call her Teresa Oconto or Eva Maria Oconto, or Eva Maria Tereso Ocanto, but you can explain it, Cantor.
Okay. I knew her as Teresa. I have to throw the Spanish pronunciation, that's how I know it. But I actually learned today that her name wasn't Teresa, and my father, who is this is his sister, never called her Teresa, didn't know how Teresa came about. She was born Eva Maria. So she's Eva Maria Teresa Ocanto. So thank you, Rabbi, for allowing me to say just a little bit. So my father is the oldest of 9 children, and my tia was the third youngest of the 9. And I think she probably gave me the hardest time out of all my aunts and uncles. And when I say the hardest time, I was considered la gringa, because I was an American. So she had this sassiness to her, and she was pint-sized too, so of course she packed an extra punch. But what I loved even more, because I always expected sassiness from her and to give me a hard time, it was always out of love. But she had just the heart of gold. She was the caretaker of everyone. She was always so kind. She took care of one of her younger brothers. There's 2 younger ones besides her. He stayed in her home. She always took care of all the cousins. If they needed anything, she'd be the first one to make sure that they had what they needed. And when all of the silliness pushed aside, she always just had this warm smile that made you feel at home, like really comfortable, just being in her presence. And I just miss her hugs, and I mean, I haven't seen her, more than 10 years. But because of COVID, there are lots of hidden blessings that COVID has presented to us. My family, we used to roll when we used to be vacationing 22 strong whenever we went everywhere. So we have a caravan of cars when we travel and go places. We did these COVID, FaceTime things with our family to be able to see her, and without fail, she would mess with me. But I love it. I miss those things. So I'm very grateful to have known her and to have been a part of her life and to have celebrated her as much as I could have. And I'll miss her a lot. So, thanks.
Thanks, Cantor. It's kind of hard to believe that it's now a full year since we lost our dear beloved Michelle Fields. We know that Michelle is no longer with us, and yet we feel it again and again every Sunday morning. She should be in that classroom with the kids. Michelle became, more than just one teacher. She became an institution here. How many kids over the years have grown up that their first year in Ohev Shalom, in terms of Sunday school, was with Mora Michelle? No, she was really an institution, and boy, do we miss her so much and feel that. So much so that you've now, I think you're seeing it for the first time, the beautiful painting. It's an original painting that now will always hang in the Grand Hall, done by an Israeli artist of Michelle. And look at it more than just a second or a minute or 5 minutes, because there's a great deal of meaning that the artist, from all the information that she received, put into this particular painting. So it's great to see you all on the last row. But for how many years there were 6 of you sitting there? How many years? So as beautiful as it is, look.
7, yeah.
7. Yeah, Scott's not here. Yeah. So as beautiful as it is, looking at all of you, Michelle would be sitting right there with you. Yeah. So we can only imagine how much you have missed her on special days and every days, and tonight we mark her very first yahrzeit. May Michelle's memory always be for a blessing, and she will always be remembered as a blessing, a true blessing to us for all the years that we were granted to have her with us. Tonight, as we enter into the 5th day of Sivan, we recall the loving memories of Leona Finkelstein, mother of Marcia Verbit, Adele Foreman, aunt of Lisa Weiner, Edith Nisman, mother of Beverly Levin, Selma Rosen, mother of Warren Roman, Morton Shapiro, father of Beth Boisel, Rose Stoop, mother of Sandra Weinstein. And those whose yurtzites have been observed during the course of this past week: Laura Kautz, Anna Levy, Faye Levin, George Heller, Jenny Golombek, Adele Rosen Goldberg, Michael Zelliner, Ethel Brooks, Arnold Alper, Alfred Whitkin, Samuel Benoff, Terry Adler, Ralph S. Pichon, Harry Knock, Ray Dipperstein, Jacob Brodsky, Fanny Udell, Rose Melitz, Jerry Kaiser, Sarah Hollander, and Ignate Hollander. May each of their memories continue to be cherished for a blessing, as we also lovingly recall others whom we have so recently lost: Stanley Rath, our dear Anna Indruzier, Arthur Schlesinger, Candace Rosen, Alan Lieboff, Sylvia Gingold, Ira Hirsch, Jonathan Israel, Rochelle Euknes, Stephen Weiner, Marilyn Rosenblatt, Ronnie Schlesinger, our beloved Cantor Paul, in whose memory we will be dedicating the entrance and lobby tomorrow morning, Edith Kaufman, Alan Wolf, Marvin Levy, Bernard Siegel, Edith Schulman, Gussie Chudnoff, Harold Kurtz, Benjamin Hoffman, Jeffrey Berlin, Mara Lipschitz, and Hollis Cohen. And I have always saved this past year Michelle for a very special nod for the final name to be mentioned. There's an old Hebrew saying, Acharon, Acharon, Chaviv, that the last one is the most beloved. And she will always be beloved to us. So with all those who are reciting Kaddish tonight, we'll find Kaddish Yatom on page 124. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me'rabah. Biolma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach v'olam ul'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitoleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudsha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran biolma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. So simply let me announce, tomorrow morning, once again, we're dedicating the entrance and lobby to Cantor Paul. Cantor Paul's loving memory. Tomorrow night at 8:30, we have our Tikkun Leil Shavuot. On Sunday morning, we have a regular Shavuot service that will include confirmation. And Monday morning, God willing, we will have a minyan. But we'll see. Let's hope. Let's hope. Cantor, I just want to say one last thing, and I want to say it about you, that, so I'll tell everybody else that, when the cantor and we were leaving where we were, and the minute and a half we had to chat, we kind of said to each other, this is going to be a crazy weekend. There's so much happening this weekend. You know, tomorrow morning dedication, tomorrow night we have a study, then we have confirmation, and then we walk into services tonight, and, you know, this is not the largest group that we've ever had, you know. So one might think of just kind of like phoning it in, just getting it over with, just get it done. Kenner, that's not anything that you could ever do. So as I heard your davening tonight and your singing, it came from your heart as much as if there wasn't an empty seat here. Because it's not about how many people that are here, it's that people are here. And God is here. Yeah. And you put that together, and you daven from your heart and soul. So thank you. Thanks. Okay, Adon Olam. And the good news is, I told Scotty, is that we can eat 3 times as much at the Oneg Shabbat tonight. Like, you know, just whatever you want.
I
It's just us.
I hate to say it, but I do have one quick announcement.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we put it in the Shabbatogram, so be on the lookout for, there's a big JPEG icon that says coming soon. So in the coming months, we are putting together something called a Kiddush Club, that it'll be in every other month on the third Shabbat, where we're going to have a combination of Friday Night Live services on Friday, and then an actual Kiddush luncheon on that Saturday. And so what I'm creating with this Kiddush Club is to allow people to make a donation that'll contribute towards a luncheon. So we want, you know, this is an effort to, you know, have everyone come back to synagogue and find something of meaning, whether it is prayer, whether it is of a festive Shabbat night, to just have everybody come back and rejoin and just to be together. So if this is of interest to you, if you'd like to contribute to the Kiddush Club, please talk to me. Please email me after Shabbat if you're interested, and I can give more details. I will firm up the details soon, but I wanted to start putting it out there because I think it's a really wonderful way, and what's better than food on Shabbat? So, all right. That's what I've said. I've said it, and let's continue and conclude our service 128, Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher mahalach b'terem kol yatzir nivra le'nasa b'chefzo kol azay melech shemo nikra azay melech shemo nikra bi'acharei kiklot hakol levado yimloch nora v'hu haya v'hu oved v'hu yihye b'tifara v'hu yihye b'tifara v'hu echad v'yein sheni lehamshilo le'achbira beli reshit beli tachlit v'lo ha'oz v'hamisra v'lo ha'oz v'hamisra v'hu eli v'chai go'ali v'tzor chevli b'yetzara v'hu nisi umanos li menakosi b'yom mekra menakosi b'yom mekra be'yado akid ruchi b'yetishan v'yayira v'im ruchi yaviati Adonai li v'lo ira Adonai li v'lo ira Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom u'mevorach Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom u'mevorach
Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.